what Hello LLC stands for. Hello stands for helping entrepreneurs leverage leading edge optimizations. And more importantly, it is about helping entrepreneurs live conversation today. Tara is going to be leading this conversation, and it is going to be absolutely amazing when we're going to be talking about feelings or emotions, understanding the difference between the two. And we thought that we would have this conversation and be, up and real and honest about this conversation, especially as an entrepreneur, especially in relationships, especially just in building a community and as we move into this new generation of technology and communications, and our feelings and emotions are being really challenged because we're experiencing things in a different way. And if you guys also don't know that we have a weekly schedule every single week within all of our social audios, where this is our podcast, this is our YouTube, this is our main live, channel network that we have, and we continue to showcase you all that all you got to do is press some buttons. And at the end of the day, that is really truly what we're doing, is showing you guys how you can implement and how you can leverage these technologies. And when we talk about our helpful how-to Tuesdays that happens on Tuesday at 4:30. Yesterday we had an amazing conversation about skepticism to success, navigating AI and Web3. And then, of course, today we're talking about our Wisdom Wednesday. And then you all absolutely must come and visit us for tomorrow's grand opening in the Hello Plaza in Metaverse, that you guys can come into the Freedom Awaits. Coach Cleo Sets Yourself Free opens up her storefront in the Hello Plaza, that you guys definitely come and support her and be a part of what she's doing and how she's doing her business as well. And definitely don't forget, on April 4th, where we have the book launch of Rise Crystal Phoenix, where she's going to be showcasing her amazing book and her story of domestic violence. And this is something that you all definitely should come and support and be a part of, because once again, this is about us bringing real live conversations and having conversations about it, and having, the space to where we can, grow from these conversations, other than being skeptic about them, other than not having a real conversation about it, and bringing these things to the forefront. And so this is where we have an opportunity to really propel ourselves in the future. And, as we talk about, feelings or emotions, understanding the difference, I really want you all to really open up and expand your horizons when we do have this conversation today, to really be able to be honest with yourself. Because right now, more than ever, times are changing, things are changing. And the first thing to be able to accept change is to be aware of where you're at right now, and where you can be able to pivot yourself into the future in all aspects of your life. And so, without further ado, we're going to get this party started. You guys share the room. You guys connect with each other, right? Especially those of you that are in our LinkedIn, those of you that are in our Clubhouse. You're all one conversation away from changing your life or changing somebody else's life. So don't be stingy with that type of attitude. So let's get this party going. What you got, love? Talk to us, man.
Well, it's a beautiful Wednesday here. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. We're excited to have you here with us. And today we're going to be on the feeling side, not the fact side. If you guys ever if you tune into our rooms, David is always like, it's facts over feelings. And I always like to come in the backside and say, feelings matter. As a typical woman, let me go ahead and categorize myself in that one right there. So today we're really going to break down the difference between emotions and feelings, guys. David asked me, you want to talk about this conversation? I said, yeah, have not a clue about what the difference is. And so I've been spending some time really educating myself and understanding the difference. And I'm excited to share the information that I have found today, in simpleton ways and simpleton terms, for myself, not because none of you guys need that, but because I like to kind of regurgitate things. And when I can regurgitate something into, share with others, I then learn more about the subject. And as I will just share As a Cancer, I was born in July. David's born in July, so we're both Cancers. As a Cancer, we are definitely the emotional sign. If anybody knows anything about astrology and anything about signs and whatnot, yeah, the Cancer is definitely an emotional water sign. So when the feeling of talking about, or when the topic of coming down the pipeline of talking about emotions or feelings, I really geek out. And the only reason I geek out is because I don't think we have this conversation nearly enough, just in general. I am not a man, but I am highly aware from David sharing, his experiences and his, viewpoints on things that, and seeing, obviously, I have an older brother, obviously, my father, when he was here with us, that men are not really encouraged, would be a great word, to feel, to emote emotion, to share those outwardly. It's kind of pick yourself up by the bootstraps and keep on pushing. Nobody wants to hear that sad song kind of way. And I think that's
Stop crying, boy. Shit, you all right?
That part, like mom. I think mom and dad are like, "Are you bleeding? No, you're all right then." And I will say, growing up with the Generation X, even though I'm on the cusp of Generation X and Millennial. It is also a generational thing. My mom very much talks about, she is one of 8 children. And, there was no BS bullshit tolerated within the house. It was, if grandpa said something once, there was no second time. And you kind of just need to be tough about things. So I think as well, it's a generational thing. I don't want to, just largely classify that as categories that, but I just think it's good to understand that we have not all been really conditioned to have conversations like this. It's not been a topic of conversation that people have been warranted. I will share from a standpoint of, we're going to talk about kind of the relation to a business today, of how businesses are related to business. As you guys know, Web3 solution agents helps people really get their foundation in Web2 before they can make that Web3 pivot. It really is about identifying emotions and feelings. And I will tell you, once David and I have really started to hone in and increase our emotional intelligence, because I will speak for myself, I lacked emotional intelligence, solid 10 years ago. Solid, 5 years ago, I was in a different state of mind. And so, again, that's part of life. We're all evolving, we're always growing. So I want to welcome everybody on in. I greatly appreciate you all being here. You're more than welcome to come on up, share the stage with us, ask questions. We will break in a moment to, allow you to introduce yourself and share who you are and what you're up to and how the community can support you, right? And so it's something that you're more than welcome to have a conversation. And if you guys want to, you can check us out in our metaverse right now. We're there live, airing in our metaverse as well as on LinkedIn. We're on StreamYard, so we're across like 10 other different platforms, between Facebook, Instagram, and all of those good things, Twitch. So we're just everywhere. You can find us everywhere. So let's talk facts, because Mr. Jones loves facts, and it's the funny thing between us whenever we're talking about is facts and feelings, and there really is a difference. There is a difference. So don't be like, okay, there is no difference. There is a difference. The definition of the words are even different, and I'm going to give you guys a great analogy that will really help you understand the difference when we get there. But first, I wanted to share some facts about emotions and feelings. And this is more emotions related. These facts are more emotions related when it comes to business. So keep that in mind as I share these. Studies have suggested that emotions drive up 80% of customers' buying decision. So 80% of the time when customers are making a purchase, it is emotional based. That's huge, guys. I think a lot of times we don't understand. We think logic comes into play. It's emotions. we do a lot of crazy things with emotions. And I will say, just from personal experience, whether it was within my personal life, within my corporate American life, or whether it's been in my entrepreneurial business life, we have seen a plethora of emotions really get the best of people. And, I just will say it's unfortunate because we're all great people. We just have things that are, that trigger us, and then we kind of just act a fool, for lack of a better word. So, research done by Harvard Business Review indicates that understanding a customer's emotional motivators can be a stronger predictor of your future value in the traditional markets like brand awareness. So essentially, Harvard Business Review did a study, and they found out that knowing the emotional motivators of your clientele, of your niche, what is emotionally charging them, and how they're emotionally charged, and probably an easier, better way to say that, really leads to understanding your future value as a brand instead of having brand awareness. So that is huge because we are all about, hey, brand awareness, brand awareness, brand awareness. Um, a study has found that employees who report feeling highly engaged at work are 21% more profitable with what they do. So they're producing 21% more. They're 21 more percent profitable. Boy, spit that out 10 times fast. But being the fact that they're feeling highly engaged at work. And when I read more into that study, a portion of that was because they felt like they were emotionally understood by management, which will lead me in to one of my facts here that shares about how the high turnover rate. 59% of employees leave their job due to poor management. And when they broke down the management style, the biggest one was that the management lacked emotional intelligence and would not tune into their emotions and be able to be with that. And so employees felt like they were not heard. Employees then felt like it created a toxic environment, and they ultimately left. And I will say, from personal experience, I have worked both. I have worked both in corporate America, where I've had a really good, emotionally intelligent leadership that, and to be very frank, in my early 20s, working, or my entire 20s there, and working into my 30s there, God, golly, I needed that. I needed emotionally intelligent people around me because I too was still growing. And so I've also worked the other side of that, where I have been, where the leadership is emotionally unavailable. And when I say that, they just don't care about how you are doing as an employee or what you would like or need as an employee. And because of that, that starts to create animosity. And so I've experienced that both sides, and I share that openly because I'm sure we've all been in a situation like that. Last but not least, 62% of CEOs, this is crazy. 62% of CEOs report that they allow emotion to influence over half of their large decisions. 62% of CEOs admit that they allow emotional influence to guide them on over half of large decisions. That's crazy, guys. So I'm telling you, when we talk about, oh, it's all about, facts over feelings, y'all, I'm getting the look right now. I mean that in the sense that, look, from a man's point of view, I'm not a man. I'm not going to act like I'm a man. But working as women, we can understand we've worked in a man's world for many years. It's been a very patriarchal world. And in that world, it is about money. It's about facts and figures and numbers. That's no lie. It has not been feeling focused, emotion focused, emotional intelligent focused. It has not been that. Would we have wanted it to? Maybe, but it's just what's so. So, hey Santosh, welcome on in. Welcome on in, everybody. You're more than welcome to jump up here on stage, by the way. I'm just having a lovely conversation here today about feelings and emotions. We're going to dive in what the difference is real quick. quick. So come on up. You're more than welcome to come out and hang on stage. So here's the analogy I want everybody to keep in their mind as we talk about this and to decipher the difference between the two. So think of a tree. All of us know what a tree looks like. We all know it has roots. We all know that has a trunk. And then, kind of that trunk gets taller. And then we have large, thick branches that branch out off of that. And let's think of a mature tree, not a tree you just planted. But it's all the same. It's all relevant. It's just about the girth of the tree. But I rabbit hole. And then let's think about the tinier limbs that come off those bigger limbs and the leaves that are on that tree. Okay, so we all have the picture of a tree in our mind. So there are three aspects that we need to keep in mind on this tree. The tree is a representation of how emotions and feelings are connected because they are not the same. So the roots in the tree trunk, as it goes up before it goes out into the main branches, are the effect. So that's the effect. And you'll understand what the effect is as I jump a little deeper into this. But keep in mind that that could be an experience, that could be an environment, but that's the effect. That could be, what am I trying to think of? Memory. That was the word. I was like, experience in the past, aka a memory, Tara. Congratulations. You have graduated language school. Boy, I tell you guys, I entertain myself a lot of times. Okay, so we're moving on to the big branches. The big branches that we have are the equivalent to emotion. So as you come out of the tree trunk of effect, and that's going to be environmental, it's going to be emotion, not emotional, but experimental and memories. When we get into the big branches, that's emotion. And as we branch off of the big branches into the smaller branch that holds the leaves, those are feelings. Okay, so we have effect, emotion, and at the tip we have the feeling. Okay, now I share that analogy with you because as I jump into the difference between the two here, it really will help to understand that everybody understands what the tree. We've all drawn a tree since we were in elementary school when we were told to draw our family or our house and all that, right? So let's dive into what emotions are. Emotions are going to be body related, as feelings are going to be mind related, right? So nobody come for me, by the way, in the comments or get up here on stage and act like well, you're an expert. Let me just preface this: I'm not an expert. I'm sharing what I have learned so that you guys can take this knowledge, decipher it, and then utilize it and how it'll be used. So in the emotion side of this, you have what is known, the emotions are known as gut reaction, intuition kind of thing. That is exactly what emotions are. Emotions are on the unconscious level. Okay? They're universal, meaning versus feelings, which feelings are on a conscious level. And they're personal. Feelings are personal. Emotions are universal. Let's give an analogy. We all know Halloween, and we all know that you can go to a haunted house, right? Just saying haunted house, whether you love going to a haunted house or you're not thrilled about going to a haunted house, just saying that in general could mean the simple fact that there's kind of maybe a little anxiety that pops up when you just say, when I said, let's go to a haunted house. There's maybe a little fear. Maybe there's a little joy, not joy, but happiness kind of that shows up because you love being in that state. But the moment that you said a haunted house,
I was out.
All of us made a yes or no decision right there. So that's a universal effect, right? That's an emotion with a universal effect. And so that universal effect there is unconsciously. That's just what shows up in our gut reaction. And it's usually said by experience that has happened along the way. We'll get to that. So emotions will manifest in your unconscious mind. So you're not unconsciously manifesting your emotion. David will ask me sometimes, I'll walk in and it could be light day, y'all. It could be like I walk out the door and I walk back in the door and he's like, what happened? Because he can feel the energy, my emotions change. And I'll be like, before I get defensive, now I'm like, I scan the body. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why, but I do feel it. I'm aware of what you're talking about.
The crazy woman's back.
The crazy, yeah. I was about to say the BITCH. The crazy bee is back. But no, and that's all light and fun, guys, by the way. So we really try to have a lot of fun with this because if you don't, you go so the only way to bring emotions to a conscious state, like a feeling, is through psychotherapy. And so that is where you're gaining the emotional intelligence. And by the way, you can do your own psychotherapy. I'm sure I've done my own. Like I just didn't know that that's what I'm doing when I'm having, conversations with myself and educating myself about, what I'm doing. So again, this is not medical advice. Please seek a medical professional for anything that you might need to discuss. Just a disclaimer. All fun stuff. Emotions are a physical state that can be measured by your body language, your facial expressions, your heartbeat, your breath, how fast your blood is pumping through, or the energy that you give off. That is literally, that's again, I'll walk in and David would be like, what changed? What happened? And I'm like, I don't know what happened. Emotions come first. Again, think back to our tree. The big branches come before the little branches, right? The trunk and the roots come before the big branches. So emotions come first, feelings come second. It's kind of like emotions will send a biochemical signal to the neurological pathways, and then all of a sudden your endocrine system will get to work and create the feeling. So that's kind of the scientific thing that happens of the path of custody of how feeling. An example. Here's a great example of this. So I am threatened. You feel threatened from the environment you're in. All of a sudden you experience fear. And then you have a feeling of frightened and being scared. So you see how that evolution happened? We went from I'm in an environment and I feel threatened, or I'm in an experience that I have, that is, threatened is showing up. And then all of a sudden I have fear. And we all feel that. Like the moment I said that, we all been in that state of, oh my gosh, and know that feeling of fear that pulses through you like, oh snap, this is probably not going to be good. And then all of a sudden the feelings that show up is, frightened, scared, anxious. Maybe some people get angry, we all react differently within that. So it's emotions are, like I always say, emotion is emotion. Like it's energy in motion, which means you're going to feel that in the body. You're not going to, that's not up in the mind. You're really going to feel it through the body. It's going to create agitation, or moving or stirring, or even not moving or stirring, just frozen. So this is why we tell people, or we do, but like, this is why in general, I should say, people are like, hey, scan the body. What's going on in your body? What do you feel in your body? That's an emotion. Because what happens is that's being caused from an emotional state. It's being caused from an emotional reaction. Unconscious is what I was looking for. Sorry, there's a hemming and hawing there. But the unconscious awareness that we have no clue what's going on in the body. That's why we have to stop and scan that body to figure out, okay, something's askew here. All of a sudden I was happy and now I'm, blah, or whatever that is, right? Emotions come and go very quickly, guys. So they're here and then they're gone, not like feelings. And we'll dive into that. Emotions are universally felt. So again, if we utilize, if we're standing in a group going on, like, or maybe we're in the back of a safari vehicle going on a safari and we see a lion and the lion starts running at the vehicle and jumps in the vehicle. I think we all universally feel like, experience the feeling of, and I say feeling, it's it's the emotion of fear. It's the, oh shit, no, out, I'm done, and that fear then moves into anxiety, anger, fight, flight, the survival mode comes up, right? But just imagine yourself in a vehicle, a lion comes, jumps in, you got a different universal feeling going on along the way. So emotions are raw data, RAW, raw data. So that is something that I found very intriguing when I was diving in this, because feelings are not. They are interpreted now. And we'll go into that here. But the official definition of emotion via Webster is a mental state that arises spontaneously rather than the conscious effort, and is often accompanied by psychological change. That is the definition of emotion. And here are 6 basic emotions that people feel universally: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, and disgust. And what's crazy is that when we have an emotion, again, it's subconscious, it's what's on our unconscious level. When we have fear, or when we experience like fear, that actually affects a portion of our brain. So the fear, when we experience that emotion, it affects our, I'm going to butcher this, amygdala section of your brain. So y'all go out and Google where that is. Yeah, you're affecting your amygdala. Okay.
Like on Waterboy?
I don't know, but I'm sure I butchered that word. But anyways,
Gotcha.
AMYGDALA for
Gotcha.
all those that want to go fact check me and figure out where that is. I love it. Please do. Again, another thing would be the frontal lobe of your brain helps actually regulate emotion. So, when you do damage to the frontal lobe of your brain, it would regulate your emotional stability.
Yeah, and I think these are great things that you're bringing up, because a lot of the times we're unaware, right? And this is something that we talk about when we share with people, that once you're aware of how these things work out, you're able to get a better grasp of, how this works, and how you can be better aware of how this pops up also. And so I think something also that you shared, that, when we talk about emotions and feelings, I think it also, that when we go from that emotion standpoint that goes from our past, right? We also have to, I think some of the things that you're talking about is there's that experience in between that point of emotions to feelings. That, that emotion that we have, like when you use the analogy of, stepping into a haunted house. I remember, the haunted houses that, that were at Astroworld during the holiday, during Halloween and all the rest of that stuff. And there was something that was tied back to that, an experience that I remember that now creates this feeling, right? And that's something that we share with you guys all, especially when we talk about business, right? It how this all shows up in our business life and our personal life, because all is one.
Yeah.
So I love how you shared that.
Yeah, and so really, again, just to review the emotion side of it, it's the body, it's the unconscious. That's why we always say, hey, scan the body for what you're feeling, what's going on. And these are universal feelings. So everybody is experiencing the same thing that you are. Might not be at the same time, but they have experienced it at some point in their time and lifetime. So that's really, and the biggest thing I think is that it's raw data. It's what's showing up as raw data. Emotions are raw. It is what is generated from that experience. So let's jump over to the leaves and the small branches of your tree here, which is the feeling. Again, the feeling side is the mind. So we always talk about the mind and the body. Well,
Mhm.
that's feelings and emotions. Your feelings are on the conscious experience. So you're aware of them. You are highly aware of them. They're emotional expressions and physical sensations that bring feelings. For instance, when you experience hunger, you're like, "Oh, I'm hungry," because there was a sensation in your body that you went, "Oh, I'm hungry." Or you're walking through your house in the middle of the night and you stub your toe on on a piece of furniture and you feel pain. That's a feeling because, again, you had a physical sensation that brought feelings forward. Emotions contain real-time data that's triggered by environment changes and sensations in the body, a reaction to present reality. And I just said emotions. Yes, that was on the emotion side. So apparently I got on that on the wrong column. But that's really, again, back to that real-time data that's showing where the environmental changes and sensations in our body, which then push us over into the feeling side of it, right?
Mhm.
So feelings can be hidden. We can hide our feelings. We can hide our feelings if we like somebody, if we don't like somebody. Feelings can absolutely be hidden. They're also influenced by personal experiences, beliefs, and memories. So, a lot of times, why you're having a feeling pop up is because you've experienced something on a personal level. You've had beliefs of, whether they were installed, instilled by your family or your community. And really, just coming down that pipeline of understanding how those memories can also play, it's an experience. You have that memory. For instance, I remember when I was a little girl, my grandpa said, "Don't touch that hot muffler on the motor, on the lawnmower." I just got done mowing lawn.
And what'd you do?
I touched the muffler on the lawnmower because I thought that would be fun. I don't know
Mhm.
why. And I experienced immediate pain from the burn. And hello, congratulations. Now, to this day, I see a hot muffler on a lawnmower. I'm like, nope, not on duty.
Not today.
I get that feeling immediately in my hand. I'm
When
like,
you
nope.
thought about it.
You
When
even
thought
think about it.
Yeah.
So that's a memory, that's a past experience that's popping up in my mind, and I automatically get a feeling associated with it. What you got?
And that's what pops up for us as entrepreneurs, right? That when we think about going live,
Yeah.
when we think about posting for our business, when we think about, doing something new, we revert back to this old situation of what happened to us, not realizing, prime example, that hey, maybe next time I need to wait till the lawnmower cools down and then I can experience more.
Hey, Lotto
And it
Stud,
would have
Grandpa
came out a
said,
little
don't
bit
touch it.
differently, right? And that's where we have to take ownership
Yep.
of how we allow our emotions and our feelings to play out in our lives. And if we don't check those things, they will go unchecked.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we talked about in the past, is that so often as we grow up, we create this monster to protect this little inner child of ours.
Mhm.
And because this monster has been alive so long and been protecting us, that monster now runs the show.
Yep.
And this is where we encourage you all to really not allow that monster, that scared monster, to be exact, right? To take control of your life. And this is really where we're having this great conversation. So keep it love on it.
Absolutely. So, in liken of that is, feelings are personal. As I was sharing earlier, they're not universal. So, for instance, say you see somebody, running out the storefront, yelling at somebody, and they're screaming and yelling and they're mad, and you're like, "Oh, that's anger." I can resonate that. Maybe someone's, screaming the "F you" at someone or whatever it is as they're, that's anger. That's an emotion that they're, or not emotion. That's a feeling that they're feeling at the moment, and they you can understand that because at some point you might have felt that the same way, right? You might not understand the circumstances of what's going on, but you can identify that as a feeling. Feelings are connected with your past. That's something that a lot of times, it's the experiences that we've had in the past. Say you every time you take a right turn, you hit the curb. Well, you do that for 5 years straight, and now every time it's been 10 years, but every time you take a right turn, you're still turning like you got a semi behind you, a semi truck, because you want to make sure you're not, curb checking that curb every time because you cut it short. That was a weird analogy, but there you go. It's what popped in my head. Here's a funny thing. Remember how I talked about the 6 basic emotions? Well, there is no set number of feelings. There are a multitude of
So
feelings.
there's 6 emotions.
There's only 6 emotions that you will ever feel, but anything outside of that is then a feeling. And there's no set number of feelings. I mean, a day as long as you can create the amount of feelings, a word that expresses a feeling, right? And so feelings also, again, outside of the past experiences, also feelings come from future worries. So, maybe you don't have enough money to make rent, and that creates anxiety and worry because you're like, I don't know how we're going to pay that bill or something. That comes down the pipeline of we worry a lot as humans. So the official definition of feeling is the sense of touch. The sensation experienced through this sense or a physical sensation. That's it. So it's real short versus emotion, which is a mental state that arises spontaneously rather than through conscious effort and is often accompanied by psychological change. So really at the end of the day, it is a huge difference between emotion and feeling. And a lot of times I will be frank, I'll be, plain Jane about it. I didn't know the difference until I dug in and I started, educating myself and researching about it for this conversation because now I guess if I really stopped and, thought about it, I'm like, yeah, there is a difference, but I had not stopped and thought about that because it was not something I needed to at that point. Right. So again, this is information for us to share with you guys. We share this within the business, in our conversation, even though we're in business, we open up these conversations, topics like this, because again, from the facts and figures that they were sharing, 80% of customers are buying based on emotion. Customers are 80% of customers are more likely. I'm sorry, not 80% of customers. Customers are more likely to refer your brand if they are emotionally connected with you. There was no percentage on that one. They just said point blank. If a customer is emotionally connected with you, they are 3 times more likely to share your brand with their family, friends, or anybody who's willing to listen. That's huge. A lot of people don't understand the impact of what happens when we make that emotional connection. For instance, David and I, David has spent 22, plus years in corporate America within marketing and sales, and inside and outside sales and things like that, warm sales, cold sales, hot sales, he's done it all. And one thing I learned in listening to David through the last 8 years of our business together, and we've been together for going on starting our 14th year, was that in the evolution of listening to his conversations, I find a lot of times David will get onto the same side of the table to have the conversation. And a lot of times as humans, when we are, working on, whether it's just presenting information, whether it is having a conversation that people are at 2 different ends of the spectrum on, when we can stop, be aware of our emotional intelligence that's going on, understand that it's not personal. People are just trying to understand. People are willing to understand and learn things too, but what happens is feelings pop up from past experiences of, for instance, your dad or the male figures in your life, if you're a woman, could never have let you spoke or never felt like you were heard. And so anytime, men or women, have a conversation with you, or men do, you might subconsciously, have an emotion that pops up and blocks off because of a past experience, So it's things of being aware of what's going on and how that affects business and how that is related to business. So with that said, Mr. Jones, what are you going to add to this subject that we talked about today?
Well, before we continue, guys, I want to welcome you guys all to the Hello LLC. If you guys don't know, Hello stands for Helping Entrepreneurs Leverage Leading Edge Optimizations, and more importantly, helping everyone live life optimally. Currently, today, you are in our Wisdom Wednesday room where we are talking about feelings or emotions, understanding the difference. And if you guys don't know, we are also in our Hello Plaza in Metaverse that you can join from your headsets, you can join from your laptop, you can join from your iPad, you can even join from your cell phone. And, especially as we talk about feelings or emotions with Tara, this is absolutely crazy that, we only have 6 emotions and we have unlimited amount of feelings. You're spot on, especially when you talk about, facts and feelings. I hear you dropping in some facts in there for us to showcase and be able to
That's
really
what you do.
just and be able to really, bring to attention that we have to be aware of these things. And I think a lot of the times we're not aware of these things. And I really go back and I say facts over your feelings because a lot of the times we do get in our feelings about how we run our business. We do get in our feelings about how we run our relationships. And a lot of the times we get in our feelings based upon old emotions and how we were raised, right? And because you're not aware of those emotions and you're not able to check those feelings, they're not all the time right. They're not all the time, on par. And sometimes people get stuck in that and they're like, well, this is the way I feel. Well, just because you feel that you can cuss somebody out and call them every name in the book, that's not right. You might feel that that's right, but that's not right. And this is where we really have to come together and collaborate. And I was in a room earlier, and everybody knows that we've been talking about metaverse, we've been talking about VR, we've been talking about this AI. We've been talking and sharing with people that the metaverse is the future. And she shared something with me, and all of a sudden she said, "Well, that's something that I shared with you, David." And I'm not gonna lie with you, I got in my emotions and my feelings real quick, and I had to check it because this is where I shared back because I could have literally cussed her out and said everything under the moon, like, "No, you actually really got that from us," but I didn't. I controlled my emotions, and I literally sat there and I said, "Hey, this is exactly what we should not be doing. This is where the metaverse, this third generation of the internet, allows us to collaborate together, and there's enough abundance for us all to win. And this is where we have to get over you do you, I'ma do me, and let's see who gets to the top because those old ways are gone and obsolete. And the baffling thing is that if we follow nature and we follow just things that are added, it always creates more abundance. And if you want to be a lion, you better learn the rules of the jungle. Lions don't hunt; the lion is hunt. And really, this is where a lot of the times we get in our feelings and we get in our emotions about not understanding how we're pivoting and how we're moving forward into the future, and we allow the old traditional ways get in the way of how we should be moving forward because collaboration is the new currency and currency is nothing but energy. But what energy are you going to bring to the table? And a lot of the times, what we find is people bring that negative, low vibration energy and their feelings and their emotions to the table that a lot of the times aren't right, that a lot of the times are not fully up to date, especially as we move forward into this 3D immersive world to where your website, nobody's going to be going to your website. People are going to be asking you, what metaverse world are you in to showcase? And as we talked about, we're going from emotions to experiences. We're all looking for new experiences in our lives. And that's exactly where we get to pivot from this 2D flat screen, look at my bald head face in this white shirt and look at this purple hair lady, just at one time, where now you can go into our metaverse. And as you guys are watching us live, you're literally able to see that we're able to showcase different businesses, different companies, and they now get to say, hey, come into, the mall and see all that I have to provide while we're having a conversation and getting rid of that old traditional Zoom. That's something that we talked about yesterday, right? Of really being able to understand that the future's here. and that we cannot continue to allow our feelings and our emotions to allow us to be skeptic, to allow us not to move forward. And a lot of the times, what happens, especially when we talk about this AI, especially when we talk about this Web 3, which is it blows my mind when I say Web 3, and people are like, oh no, that's not going to happen. Hold on, you're using Web 2 right now. Remember Web 1? What comes after 2? 3. Ta-da! So, this is where we get blockage from those feelings and emotions. And so I'm really glad we're having this conversation today, and you're dropping some of these facts. And we really encourage you guys to come and visit us in the Hello Plaza, where literally it's 4 buttons to press. Where getting into a Zoom is completely a headache. We were talking to one of our clients yesterday, and she was sharing, yeah, I cannot wait till I get my Hello Plaza actual storefront, and then my meeting room in the back, where she's now going to be able to showcase her VR podcast, right? She's going to be able to have all of her meetings in this metaverse world, and literally create a completely different experience in this metaverse that we've been sharing with you guys for the last 2 years, if not longer. When we first got in Clubhouse, when I was moderating for once a club, when we first got on here, I shared with people. I said, "Hey, look, this Clubhouse that we're on, this is the first version of Metaverse, where we are dropping it into this room with this avatar, and we're creating this conversation in this experience, and that there's different experiences throughout all of Clubhouse, and no matter what room you might jump into and or link in, you might get a different experience, and to each his own. And that is exactly where we're going to in the future as we look at TikTok, where people are now wanting experiences, and they want to see your lifestyle. And that's why we even shared with you guys yesterday, the time is now for you to be able to expand and leverage your influence, and be able to affiliate yourself with companies and businesses that you can showcase, and you can also make residual income or just income off alone. And you all are doing that already right now. When me and Tara first started our journey in business, we got into network marketing, and we were sharing with people, about their health and wellness, and people didn't want to hear it. People didn't want to hear nothing about being healthy, didn't want to hear nothing about, nutrition, didn't want to hear none of that. And then boom, the pandemic hit, and people were like, oh, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin all of this. Oh, we should get that, we should get this. And we're like, whoa, where did all this come from? And this is where we share with people, don't wait till it's too late. And then all of a sudden jump on the bandwagon, as what I witnessed earlier today, that somebody was jumping on the bandwagon. And not only that, the title was completely wrong. They sat there and said that it was VR access, headsets only, when the world you can get in from your headsets, your cell phone, your laptop, your iPad. And this is even more so where we share with you guys, don't allow your feelings and emotions to lead you in the wrong direction, because you better make sure you're checking these people's sources before you take their resources, because a lot of the times, as I mentioned, people are running business on old ways of doing business, let alone not knowing what full metaverse is, not knowing full of what AI is, and not knowing the capacity of what it can do, just utilizing clickbait to get you into their room or get you into their environment, and not knowing nor implementing it into their own business. And that's something that we share with you guys all the time. We're talking about it, we're doing it. If we're going to share it, we've already been doing it. We've already been experienced it. We're not just trying to tell you to do something that we haven't done. Hence the reason why our business has been successful. Hence the reason why we've been able to be on these Clubhouse and LinkedIn and all these rooms. And you haven't heard, Hello LLC did this, did that, did this wrong. No, we've been steady and right here. Steady Eddie right here on this app, helping people pivot their business from 2D to 3D, but more importantly, helping people understand they gotta bust a move. They gotta do something different. And whatever you do something and press the button and believe in yourself, and make sure that you're just doing it in a fashion that's going to help you in the future.
Absolutely. And I think, the biggest thing that you said there was just the correlations that we have between being aware of our emotions that lead to feelings and how those past experiences influence and impact our business and how, we can just take out of business, guys, it impacts your daily life.
Yeah.
Your past experiences impact your current present day. I have seen it a multitude of times from people who have just, went left field on, whether it was off on me, off on, in past corporate America times, whether it was on the client going off on, our guys. It just, I've seen it so many times. And a lot of times what happens is it just is a past trauma that is continuing to affect you in present day. And you don't have a grip on it, and it's showing up. And one thing we didn't talk about today is how emotions and feelings can change into a mood, which then turns into how you are, a lifestyle. I'll speak for myself here. When I was in corporate America, towards the end of my tenure in corporate America, before I went full time in our business, I was not in a great. It just wasn't a great environment. I wasn't happy in the environment. Nobody was in that office was happy in that environment. Nobody in the company was happy in the environment because of what was created. But I was aware that I was waking up with dread. Every day I'd wake up and it was like, oh God, what do I got to do today? And in real honesty, guys, it's taken me the past years out of I left corporate America in 2022, and it's taken past 2 years to change that feeling of when you wake up to gratitude, to happiness, to like, yeah, let's today, what does the day have to offer? To be joyful in your day. And that was because of my environment. The environment I was in, the environment I had to, be in order to quote unquote live the American debt dream that they sell you. And you get it at the end of the day. It just comes down to the simple fact that it's a feeling can continue on in your life to create a mood, and you let that mood continue on, it creates a lifestyle. And then people kind of stop and go, I don't remember Tara being like that, but now, man, I haven't seen Tara in 15, 20 years, and now she's, she's grumpy all the time or something. It just, that was what's so in that part of my life, because of what I was going through, the growth I was going through, the environments I was a part of. And it really is so important to understand where toxicity shows up in life and how to avoid those areas, those environments, so that they just don't latch on and make a lifestyle within you, right? A lot of times we can get drugged down by the circumstances and the experience that are going around. So it's really, today we wanted to have this conversation about the difference between emotions and feelings, and especially just because it's not something to talk about. I want to be very frank. You guys are sitting in our rooms right now. You can see how many people are in the rooms. That is part of what we're dealing with in this society. Is it's still not there to be able to have these conversations openly. It's not a wild conversation or topic that people want to be a part of. People want to be a part of drama, gossip, things that are,
everybody worried about P. Diddy. Everybody worried about the Tyson.
Think
fight.
about it.
Everybody worried about
external.
all the crazy
They're
stuff.
all worried about external because they don't want to come in and deal with the emotion or the feelings that are going on. Because once you look, we say this all the time. Once you have the information, once you understand the difference, you have a choice. You can either turn a blind eye and act like you don't know and continue to be the way you're being, or you have a choice to change. a lot of people, I'm going to speak from experience. You have a choice, and it gets to that point of, do I really want to make this change? Because I'm good where how I am. I'm good with telling people to F off. I'm good with, getting in, being grumpy all the time. I'm good with being an ass all the time. Whatever it is. I'm good. I can go to sleep at night. But look at the impact you're having around you. Do you care? No? Okay, then do you. But I'm gonna be 100 with you. We're in the year of 8. How do we get the year of 8, Tara? We're in 2024. You add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. We're in the year of 8. 8 is the sign of infinity and karma, instant karma. So if you want to be a little, curmudgeon head, as my old boss used to say, you want to be a little, poop stain, you do that. And at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to have to deal with the karma that comes back at you. We just had a situation, a couple of months ago where someone was real ugly to us. And we took the professional high route and just understood that they probably got a trauma going on. It's not our responsibility to teach them their trauma because they definitely don't want to, us to say anything about it. But love and light and a lot of grace to you. And I hope they get that figured out, because the karma they are reaping on themselves actually hurts my heart, because I just understand what's going on now. And if you want to be that pig-headed, then that's on you. And you can't save everybody. Like my mama said, if everybody's going to jump off the bridge, are you? Oh, heck no, I'm not. I was always out doing my own thing. So again, thanks everybody for being here. Let's move this mic around. I see Santosh here. I see Giggles here. I see Ellie here. I see Richard O over here on the other side. You're more than welcome to come up on stage if you would like to jump in on this. But who wants to tap in? Open mic. Let's go. Pass this mic around. Nobody. Everybody's in listening mode. Well, that's okay. We can let everybody be in listening mode too.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, real quick, guys. Definitely, if you guys don't know, for those of you that are in the room, if you hit the link up at the top, or you go to thehellollc.io, that is our biz in the box. No, it's not no static website. No, it's not no landing page that has no systems. No, you're not, promoting somebody else's business. You're literally being able to build your foundation and add AI and systems into your business. And if you guys don't know about our biz in the box, definitely tap onto that link up at the top. Learn more how we can pivot your business just by building your foundation into the future and implementing some things that you probably would not have thought about. Prime example, there is an average of 6.6 social media platforms that everybody should be on. And a lot of the times, us as entrepreneurs, we are not leveraging our influence to the fullest, to where a lot of the times you're only on Facebook or Instagram. You're not posting about your business. You're not showcasing about your business, let alone when you do go and talk, you have an outdated website, an outdated landing page, you got no systems behind your business. And this is where we come into place, where we literally create that foundation and help you with your storytelling. A lot of the times we understand you are not the best, should I say salesperson, because a farmer is great at planting the fruit, but he's not great at selling the fruit. You never see the farmer at your HEB, Walgreens, or anything saying, hey, here goes a tomato, get 3 for 1. You're never going to see that. And as entrepreneurs, we think we think we can do it all, and we can't. You're great at the training. You're great at being an author. You're great at whatever you do, but the transaction might not be your best cup of tea. And a lot of the times we act as if we are the best cup of tea in all aspects. And this is where we encourage us all. You got to be able to drop that pride. You got to be able to drop that ego, because guess what? We're in Q2. We're getting to Q2, baby. What have you done differently in your business? What did you implement into your business right now? Because I can assure you 63% of companies are implementing AI into their business. And it's not AI is scary or AI is going to take your job. No, if your ass ain't using AI, you are going to be in the world of trouble, because we are moving into a world where you can automate automation. And this is where you have to be able to be smarter, right? And not work harder, and stop being the janitor in your business and be the president of your business, and really start implementing these tools. Just because you don't know how, there is no more, oh, I don't know, that's for the youngsters, this, that, and the other. AI does not have an age limit. AI is nothing more than HI. There was the human intellect. There was the human intelligence. You would go to your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, right? And we would get all these stories from them, and we would have to take on their knowledge. Now there's this AI that has a combustion of all this information that we could go to, and we literally could ask this professional all this information that we don't have to worry about their emotions, their traumas, their dramas, their patterns. It's going to give us factual information that we all should really start considering to stop implementing a lot of these things that happens, in our life. Hold on. I gotta come off mute. Yeah, I'm trying to mod you guys. That really happens in our life. And so this is where I encourage you guys all to really, take a step aside and get out of your emotions, get out of your feelings, and ask yourself, hey, where am I at in my business? How am I in my business? And really, what am I going to be doing, to my business to be, upgrading it as we move forward? And so I see we got some new people up here. I see we got Miss Ellie in the building. How you doing, ma'am? Miss Cleo is in the building. Miss Marilyn is in the building. Miss Makita is in the building. Kat is in the building. Renee is in the building over here. We got Sarv over here as well. You guys definitely feel free to come on up and join us as well. But with that being said, we have a special event happening tomorrow. If you guys don't know, for our Hello Pivot, our live broadcast. And if Miss Cleo is available, we would love for you to be able to share and tap in more, ma'am, of what you got going on tomorrow at 6:30.
Yes, good evening, everyone. So tomorrow, 6:30, it will be the grand opening of Set Yourself Free LLC storefront in the metaverse. When I tell you guys, I'm so excited about it. I am. So you guys that are here, you guys are all invited to come and celebrate really this momentous step as you were just when I came in. How are we showing up in our business? And whether or not we're ready to take it to the next level. And that's just exactly what I'm doing right now is laying a foundation and laying stuff on top of the foundation in order to have that successful business. So how you can attend, you can go right at the top, hit Set Yourself Free.io, and you can click the button in the middle of the page that says grand opening, and it will direct you to download an app. And then you will come directly into the space in the Hello Plaza. And you also get to not only experience me, but lots of other people's storefronts that are in there as well. So it's a wonderful experience to, learn about what I do, the services that I provide, but also get exposure to other people as well.
Boom. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Diggity game.
You guys definitely come and visit. Definitely go and check out her biz in a box up at the top that Sets Yourself Free. She's absolutely right. She came to us and said, hey, and actually not just came to us. This is where we share with you guys. We're all one conversation away. We are all one referral away. We are all one, just willingness to help each other away from pivoting somebody's life in a completely different way. Okay, you might not need your business done, but somebody else and several other people that might need their business done, and you can refer them just like Miss Makita did that was down here on our actual clubhouse, that she referred Miss Cleo to us. And Miss Cleo came and she, got her business in the box. She's joined our Pivot monthly membership to where now she's, expanded her business and expanded her brand to where now when she goes out and about and she's in a group at happy hour or, at an event or wherever she's at a networking event, she literally can sit there and say, hey, here goes my QR code. My business is in the metaverse. And somebody's gonna say, hold on, don't I need my VR headsets? No, girl, you can go to my from Metaverse right now through your phone, or if you have your VR headsets, go when you get home, or your iPad or your laptop. Whereas somebody else that's at that same event is going to have a boring ass business card. That's going to say, "Yeah, here goes my business card," and that business card is going to sit in that purse. It's going to sit in that cup holder. It's going to sit in that wallet. It's going to sit in the jacket pocket, and that person's never going to go and follow you or look at your information.
Prime example. David and I just went back to Houston. Got back, a couple weeks ago. And while we were in Houston, we had to stop at our bank to get a couple of new debit cards. And they print them right there in the bank, right? And the banker, hands me a business card for me to email him some information about something that we need to look at. And I get home and I'm like, crap, where'd I put that business card? I'm looking through my wallet. I'm looking through my backpack. I'm looking through all the places I would have stuffed something like that so I could email him. And I thought to myself, this is why when he handed it to me, I should have just took a picture of it so I could find it quicker, because this is exactly what happens. We take it, we shove it somewhere, and then we have every intention to come back around to utilize it. And then once we do, we've slept since then. It's like, crap, where did I put it? Finally, I found it, but it's that point. And if he just had a QR code where I could have just scanned and it added it right, on his desk, hey, just scan that QR code. Like, why are we doing these things in the old-fashioned way? I know why. Because of emotion and feelings.
We're accustomed.
And
it's not. We talk about fear of people being fearful of moving over to AI, but in all reality, what it is resistance. It's the unknown. It's the uncomfortable way of pivoting, and I continue to bring this up to people, especially those of you that are more experienced on this earth. You were the same person that sat there and said, Facebook, I'm not getting in no damn Facebook. That's for the kids. I'm not doing that. And I can even go back to MySpace. I'm not getting on no MySpace. That's for the kids. I remember this clear as day. I was the same person that said, forget MySpace. If you're not in my face, forget MySpace. Straight up. I then got home from college and my sister connected me on Facebook. She put my profile on Facebook. I didn't want nothing to do with it. And even more so when people come to
Facebook had a play in our relationship.
Yeah, that part it did.
Mr. Jones had to go out and check my Facebook.
Hey, y'all be tripping. Facebook is a genius. You get to go check out all the girls' picture, be like yay or nay, and it was a yay. But anyhow, what I'm getting to, what I'm getting to is I'm getting to the point of really we have to remember that we said no to Facebook. You got on Facebook. You said no to Instagram. You got on Instagram. You said no to TikTok. A lot of you are now and should be transitioning over to TikTok. Why would you not think that we are moving to this third generation of the internet where Miss Cleo is going to be able to have her storefront that now she can tell people, hey, go here. She's now also going to be able to say, hey, don't meet me on Zoom anymore. Meet me in my private office that's in Metaverse that now I can share my screen. You don't have to worry about putting on makeup, girl. I ain't got to worry about putting on makeup. We're going to show up in our cute little avatars and we can have the same conversation. And I can be sitting on my couch eating Cheetos and bun buns and grease rolling all down my side, and you would never know. Just saying, this is where we're at right now, right? And so with that being said,
eating Cheetos on your couch.
Miss Marilyn, are you available, ma'am, to share more about what you're doing and what you're up to? Talk to us if you are.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me see. I just jumped in here. So what I did here, and I will be there tomorrow, Miss Cleo. I am going to be in your grand opening. I'm so proud of you. I'm looking forward to seeing what's all in there. I'm just not trying to slow down, everybody. But I'm just gonna say hi, and I'm gonna have to jump back in because I'm just getting in here.
All is good. All is good. All is good. Hey, look, you guys want to see another amazing biz in a box? Go up to the top and check out Miss Marilyn Holloway's Biz in a Box, where she's doing some amazing things with early child care education. She's about to be added on some actual ebooks and things of that sort. And definitely, she was on our Hello Pivot as well about 2 to 3 weeks ago, where we interviewed her. And definitely come into the Hello Plaza. We have that on replay. We have Miss Cleo's on replay. We have everybody that has been in our Hello Pivot, on our show that we do on Thursdays. That's tomorrow. And if you guys want to be on our Hello Pivot, definitely hit us up in the back channel. We'd love to be able to have you guys onto our Hello Pivot, because this was something else that was shared earlier today. Is that when I talked about to this young lady, hey, this is exactly what we should not be doing. Is that we have to understand that the metaverse allows us to collaborate. It allows us to come together and allows us to showcase one another. And you wouldn't believe the response that I got back. It was, no, I'm not collaborating with nobody. I'm doing my own thing. This is what I do. And I'm not worried about nobody else. And I was like, whoa. That was what I expected whatsoever. But unfortunately, because of our emotions and because of our feelings and because of the past, right, that impacts our future, I get it. Because just as Tara mentioned to you guys that, a couple of weeks ago, we had a situation that went left. We've had multiple situations that go left. And I sit there and I tell Tara, I say, this is exactly why, when we look at people and we think they're assholes and we think they're cold-hearted, they're not. They've given their heart. They've helped other people, and they've got backstabbed in the long run, and that's why they don't play any more games. That's why they are where they are at now.
You know how many times we've been burned? If we would have shut, you guys, we have been burned so many times. We could shut up shop and be done and be and come from a place of hurt and serve you guys from a place of hurt. It hurts.
Oh yeah.
David and I are emotional creatures. We're cancers. Of course it hurts because we give you guys everything we have. And so when people do us like that, it's like, ooh, okay. What lesson are we learning in this one?
Yeah.
We used to not be that way. We used to, fight back with anger and, upset and, and just, we all have been there, right? We've all been that emotional, detached, But now it's like David and I have learned over the past 5 years this emotional intelligence, and we get stronger every day. And these things happen, and we go, well, something's happened in their life, and this has now caused them to react this way. And let's be professional about it. Let's be fair about it. And let's just love them from afar. Let them go with love and grace, and wish them well. Because we've learned it's not us, it's them. It's something that's going on inside of them. And, we're willing to help, but when, there's a clear message when it's, I don't want your help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that just, we've all experienced it in life, right? We've all experienced it. And to be frank, guys, when it happens, you're like, is it me? David and I are big people about, is it me? Is it us? What did we do something? And that's just because
back in the day, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
back in the day, we warranted a lot. Not warranted, we just were unemotionally aware.
Yeah.
And so we were,
absolutely
emotional little creatures ourselves, adapted emotionally. Absolutely. Not gonna say that we have not been there. We've done a lot of work.
We tell people all the time, we're healing, we're not healed.
That part. We've done a lot of work though, in order to get to the point of just, it's, say la vie, such is life. And it's the journey that they're going down. A season, reason, or lifetime, baby. What were they here for? What season? What reason? Are they here for a lifetime? And it just is what it is. You learn that it's a part of the journey of learning that you have your own two thumbs to make sure that you're taken care of, in the sense of who am I being? How am I showing up in the situation? What emotion am I bringing? What feelings do I have? And for all those that are up here on the stage, you missed my complete breakdown of what feelings and emotions were the first 30 minutes. but we go deep. And so I want to share this analogy just for you guys because it's really great about the tree. And just understand that you have think of a tree. We all know a tree. The trunk and the roots are the effect. So there's an environment, there's emotional, there's the experiences, there's memories, something happens, there's an effect. The bigger branches that come off of the trunk are emotions. And then the smaller branches and the leaves are feelings, and they are different. You have 6 innate emotions. You have an unlimited number of feelings. Emotions are unconscious and feelings are conscious. Emotions are body, and your feelings are the mind. You don't know about emotions that normally you're not tuned into emotions, but feelings you can hide, you can feel it, you know what's happening. You're consciously aware, but your emotions, you're not. And so there are replays. Jump back in and listen to the replay on this amazing thing. Miss Marilyn, I need to jump into your business and figure out why your cute little picture's not popping up there as I see. Totally rabbit hole on myself there. But anyways, guys, outside of that, feelings and emotions, and really understanding the difference between that. But with that said, guys, jump into our TheHelloLLC.io to join us in Metaverse. Check it out. David's in there now, running around in the golf cart. We will be having next week a book launch around the campfire. So if you guys want to come and join that amazing event that we have up, and then of course tomorrow we have Miss Cleo. So with that said, Mr. Jones, thank you. And talk that.
So, Miss Ellie, Miss Marilyn, did you have anything with Beverly Billy? Did you guys want to add anything to the topic at hand?
I just came in the room. Why you gotta pick on me, Dave?
Nobody's picking on you whatsoever.
Yeah, you are. But that's because you want us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. If you guys do not know, on all of our actual channels, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and on all our Twitch as well. And so we encourage you guys to definitely come and join this live onto our actual, or in our Hello Plaza, that you can join from our actual cell phone. You can join from your actual laptop, your VR headset, and your iPad. A lot of people ask, can I get on my iPad? Yes, you can join in from your iPad. So we greatly appreciate you guys joining us in the Hello Plaza. And, without further ado, if you guys don't have anything else to share or add on, we're definitely going to get this party rocking and rolling. And we definitely encourage you guys to jump in and join us. But we're going to have an after party as we end this live and able to continue our conversation. And until next time, we encourage you guys to join us in the Hello Plaza, in the Metaverse. And as always, love,
Kindness,
integrity,
but most importantly,
commitment.
and until next time.
Toodles!
Thanks, guys. We love you. See you tomorrow.